here, but my co-host.
Start off. Well, welcome to Conversations.
Okay, welcome with Conversations
right.
to with Linda live. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know when you're live, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But I got my compadre with me, my co-host Cortney Richardson. Say hey.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me back.
Absolutely. You know we do this together.
This is what we do.
So we just finished our chit chat with our chit chatters, our pre-chat show.
That's right.
And I want to go back into that.
And
that's what we're doing tonight. We're just going to casually kind of just hang out and have a conversation. How about that?
That's right. Share it, everybody.
Absolutely.
Share it with your folks. Share it with your friends. Because we got some stuff to catch up on.
Yes, we do.
And we got some things to really talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I got my Cowboys cup. Go Cowboys. Cowboys had a win today.
Congratulations, Cowboys.
And Courtney doesn't have a team.
No.
So he has Conversations Cup. That's our old logo. We got some new things coming.
But at the live show, there's new products coming.
Right. And speaking of the live show, our live show is going to be January 15th.
That's right. Is that MLK Day?
I think so. The weekend.
MLK weekend. That's right. That's
MLK
right.
MLK Day is that Monday.
Okay.
So it'll be a long weekend, an opportunity for you to have some time.
That's right.
And so come hang out with us at our live show. Now you gotta purchase a ticket.
That's right.
And tickets are on sale. There's a link that you can go to get a ticket.
The link is there in the comment section. But as you can see there on your screen, tickets are $50 for the VIP experience. And from my understanding, the VIP tickets are going fast. You only have a few more VIP tickets left. General admission is $25. And we have a few more opportunities for sponsorship as well. And so all of those links are going to be there in the comment section. Invite your friends, invite your family. From my understanding,
my hair while you're talking.
My understanding, this is a great opportunity for date night as well.
Yes.
For you to come.
Afternoon.
A date afternoon. Well, come to the show. Date day.
Okay.
Come to the show and then go and get you dinner. Or whatever the case. In fact, I don't have a card, so I can't say.
Cards, those of you who follow us in the pre-chat, each one of the crew members gets a card.
I don't know that this is a card.
And you keep pulling cards. And you only get one.
Is this a card for us to give somebody
each one of them
date night to pay for a date?
Okay, a date day.
Okay. A date day. So everybody who registers with your date this week, we will put your name in a hat for you to receive a dinner on the team. Okay. A dinner on the team.
You gotta get it this week, though. You gotta get it by Friday.
By Friday. Get your ticket by Friday.
You gotta get your ticket for you and your date, and then that'll put your name in the hat for us to pull, and you get a date day. All right. So this hair is just really bothering me. It's so hard to go live because you just see everything and want to correct it. But anyway,
Victoria said she can find her date.
I love Victoria. I love it.
Hey, Deborah Peppers.
And so, hey, Deb. So listen, we're on live this evening, and that's what we're gonna do is kind of hang out the rest of the holiday.
I wonder if we need to recruit South Memphis auntie to go out on a date.
No,
with
Travis has already found someone, so we can't do that. Okay, we're gonna check in with Travis on next week.
Who's gonna bring a date is me.
Lashonda, you bringing a date too?
I'm gonna bring a date.
You bring a date?
Okay. He bringing me, child. You know, he's honorary +1.
So listen, now y'all made me lose my thought. But anyway, so we want you. Travis, he's got somebody, so we can't impose upon that. We don't want to make Travis a player.
A real player?
A true player. A true player. A true player.
Speaking of player,
okay.
Last week we had a true player on the show.
We had a true player.
She had to drink some coffee, y'all.
Wait. And I gotta tell people what I'm drinking tonight is coffee. One of our chit chatters asked me to try, and she actually bought it for me. Her name is Kelly Graham. She bought the Starbucks peppermint mocha coffee and wanted me to try it. And you're trying it too.
I am.
And I like a holiday coffee. Now I won't drink this in January, but I love a holiday coffee.
I'll be buying it or tasting it again. Okay.
So It's good. It's peppermint mocha. So,
But let me take a sign from my nonverbals though. I am drinking this coffee though.
You really are.
I am drinking this coffee.
Okay.
Look how much I have left.
Right. You have less left than I have.
Can we find a date for a female? Sister Irma asked. Irma Foster wants to know, can we find her a date? You know what? Can we bring you on the show and talk to you about what you're looking for? And let's do that.
Okay, let's do that.
Irma Foster, we can do that.
I think we
Kanisha
just
asked,
have a dating show. Okay? So speaking of that, Randy, who we had our episode with last week, and we're gonna check in with him in just a minute. He's gonna come back on the show and talk to about older Christian women and dating, because he has a whole perspective.
he has a philosophy on that.
He does.
And I can't wait to let them hear. Let's you ready to check in with him?
Okay, so let's look at last week. We had an episode with my brother. He's my biological brother, same mom, same daddy. You know, so I did leave the show questioning them. Did we really have the same folk? But
we have to
dig
dig some daddies up in order to do a DNA test.
But I went to Dallas and got a chance to share with him, and it was really cool hanging out with him. And so I wanted to check back in with him this week just to see what happened between last week and this week. All right. So our folk are going to get us ready, and we're going to take a look at my check-in with Randy. Well, hello, Randy. I just wanted to call and check in with you and see how things are going.
Things are great. And Merry Christmas to you and your terrific followers for viewing in on my show on last Sunday. You guys are great. Keep tuning in, keep supporting Pastor Linda, and we'll keep having fun.
It was a great episode. I'm telling you, when the people started with, hey, Randy, to Uncle Randy, and by the end of the show, they were saying Randy for president.
And 2024. Yes.
But
Uncle Randy for president in 2024.
When I tell you they loved you, they loved your transparency, they loved your stories, they loved everything about you.
Hey, y'all, I just keep it real. That's what we need to be. We need to be real with each other, and we need to be real with ourselves, So I just try to keep everything real. I don't have anything to hide. I had one viewer to email me and said, aren't you ashamed of what you said? I have no shame. You can't shame me. All my skills is out the closet.
Your story. And we all have come from somewhere. We've all have done things.
Yes.
And you just made yours public.
Oh yeah. Well, like I say, to know me is to love me. And if you knew me, you knew my lifestyle. So hey, look, this is for the people that didn't know me. So hey, family, Uncle Randy is here, and this is Uncle Randy and his truth.
Well, you definitely entertained them. I'm telling you.
Well, that's good. That's what I'm here for.
You talked about your books, and you've got 31 books.
Yes, I do. And you guys need to start buying them.
Okay. Right. So, but let's talk about this first. When I thought about that, I thought about the fact that, during a low point in your life, you and I were sharing, and I said, have you ever thought about journaling? Yeah. I had no idea that this was going to go from you journaling to you publishing books.
No, and I didn't either. I really didn't. Writing I asked God one thing. I said, Lord, if you let me see 50, let me write my memoirs, not to publish. This was just for me to pass on to my kids, my grandkids, and my great-grandkids. But as I was writing these memoirs, there were some things that I didn't want them to read. So I write a little bit and put this over here. Write a little bit and put this over here because I didn't want this out of the same book. And before I know it, I had a second book.
Oh, wow.
That book, I said, well, let me take this out of here and put it over here. So before I got a third book. So it just kept going on. It just kept going and kept going and just kept going. So, hey, here it is, to this day, 31 books, So.
But you also shared that you found the writing to be cleansing, to help you. It just kind of got some things out of some baggage out.
Yes, and I like to thank you not only for my little sister, not only to but thank you because you saved my life because I was a
Right.
dark point in my life, you know. And me and you have like you spread on your sit on your show. We have always talked, but we never just spent that much time together because you were building your church and I was in the streets. So, but when you talked to me and you told me, I'll never forget. You said, Randy, why don't you write these things down and get them out? So if you can't talk to anyone, just write them and get them out. And I did that. And as I wrote about the things that was going on in my life, it was like it was deleted from my brain.
Yeah.
And I felt the difference. So I'm going to share the advice that you share to me. People, seek professional help first. You got Pastor Linda, you got the bishop. Talk to them first. But as a secretary out there, write stuff down. Try to get it out.
Absolutely.
It saved my life.
Yeah.
Pastor Linda and soon to be Dr. Linda. It saved me. It saved me.
Yeah. So tell me, you talk about your memoirs. What do you think about this? What do you think about your kids reading this? I mean, I know your kids are grown now, but what do you think about them finding out these things about your life?
Well, I have 4 kids and I have 4 grandkids and 3 great grandkids. And I gave a book to the kids, and the stuff they read. Now a lot of stuff in it they remember because it was very close growing up, and a lot of stuff they read they never thought about. They never knew. Daddy, did you do it? They never knew that I worked for a large uniform company and was general manager, stuff like that. They never knew all that stuff. But like I say, I look at it like this here. The majority of us don't have generation wealth to pass down. We don't have money. We don't have land and everything. But you can pass down your legacy through your memoirs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, who's to say, how cool is it? How cool would it be if your granddaughter or grandson at 17, 18 years old can read about what their pawpaw or grandma did at the same age? Man, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay. So, hey, this is your legacy.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So, and you write about other things because you don't just write about, being
about things. Actually, I write about things that people tell me. People have came to me and say, "Look, Randy, could you put this in your book? Maybe this would help your readers." You see what I'm saying? And I do, because like you never know what you might say might help someone else. I never knew that something I wrote about would have helped a woman cross country in Sacramento, California, keep from committing suicide.
Wow.
She called me.
Wow.
I never knew that. So never think what you're going through is not important. It is. If you don't write about it, at least talk about it. Just like say, especially people that like Pastor Linda, talk to her, talk to the bishop. You see what I'm saying? And just talk to somebody. Like I say, just get it out. We got to just get it out. We got to stop being proud. Like I say, we need help. We all need help.
And you know what? And they loved your transparency. The viewers love the fact that you, as they say, were keeping it 100, that you were just putting it out there. I think that they felt like, sometimes we feel like when the camera comes on, people present a whole nother person than who they really are.
But let me tell y'all something. What y'all got last week was G-rated. that level of nastiness, like your pastor said, was G-rated. Now we're going to PG. See,
wait a minute, not so fast. We got baby steps. Okay.
The next show will be viewed about 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Conversation. Look, late night conversation.
There you go, late night. So y'all have your coffee and stuff ready. Cause we can't say everything while the kids are home. So okay,
Absolutely. Look, so you got another book coming out soon.
Yes. Matter of fact, it's called "Why Do Good Women Love No Good Men?"
Oh my goodness!
Yes. I have a lot of women talk to me about this, and I wrote it. I said, okay, let me take it here. Let me ask the women, why do good women love no good men? And like I say, now this book is not for everybody.
Okay, all right. We're gonna wait till you publish the
book. We
book.
don't leave it like that. It's not for everybody.
Okay.
You know who you are.
Well, I definitely go. I'm gonna have to have you come back on the show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what?
Yeah,
I just think periodically I'm gonna have to check in with you and see what's going on in your
yeah,
life.
yeah. Because I got some more nastiness for you. Okay, but before we leave, Pastor, I like to thank two people. One is my art director, Phyllis Johnson. She designed all those lovely covers that y'all see on my books. She did it. We can't do all that. And the second one is my nephew, Quincy Preston. He's my IT guy. And matter of fact, I had some viewers said they couldn't on their phones, they couldn't go to my website and purchase books. Quincy fixed all that. So he fixed it for me. Quincy, great guy. So what I need you guys to do is go to my website, booksbyrandy.net, and buy these books. I need to pay these people. All these people money. And if you have any comments, you want to talk to me, go to my website.
Wait a minute.
Yahoo.com.
I'm trying to get it all in. Now something happened. What happened to you last week? What's happened this week that you?
I was just gonna tell y'all this week. You know, this has been a great week. Wednesday, I got my OG check. For all you youngsters that don't know what an OG check is, a Social Security check. I got that. We got me a pedicure. And went to get some Christmas shopping for myself. My kids don't buy for their own kids, so I'm buying for myself.
All right. So
far, Christmas has been good.
You got an OG check.
An OG check, a Social Security check.
Okay. All right.
You're over 60, you don't get a paycheck, you get an OG check. It's Social Security.
All right. So you got a new book coming out.
Yes.
Last week was a banner week OG check. You got some more fans, followers, because the folks love you.
And I think, and like I say, I saw some of those comments already. Yeah, call me Uncle Randy, because I'm probably older than a lot of your viewers. So I would take that Uncle Randy. But look, let me tell y'all something. Please support Pastor Linda. I'm not saying this because she's my sister and y'all pastor, because what she's doing in the community and for the community and for the people is great, man. So we need to support her, and y'all need to call and send them the smiley faces and them thumbs ups and them other thing and them hashtags, whoever y'all be sending. Y'all need to keep sending
do all of that.
All that, because like I say, the work I watch it every Sunday. Win or lose of the Cowboys. I watch Pastor Linda. So y'all need to keep watching. And like I say,
I support you. You my brother. It's all love, but none of that. It's kind of conflict with.
I know. People, you got to limit to how much love you can show me in front of your viewers, and I understand that. I'm not mad about that, but we're gonna keep supporting you, and we're gonna keep supporting your show, and we're gonna keep a little nastiness in this thing too. Look. But like I say, y'all. I
look forward to having some conversations.
And I look forward to being back maybe next year.
I gotta talk to you. Listen, I gotta talk to you in 2022 so you can help out. You've addressed in private conversation with me, Christian women dating and
oh yeah.
So I want you to address that in 2022 on my show.
And I will. And women, like I say, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real with it. Like I said, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you like the old folks say, it TI is. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real with you. So I might hurt some feelings, but I don't care. You can't shame me.
Okay. All
right then. Hey,
y'all hanging out with us this evening.
Huh?
I said I appreciate you hanging out with us this evening.
And thanks for having me on the show. And look, y'all have a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. I love y'all. I love Pastor Linda. Y'all keep watching, keep tuning in, keep doing that little stuff you do with the little symbols and all that. I don't know what you call it.
Symbols and stuff.
And I'll see you guys next year. Love you.
All right, love you too. Take care.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. That was our check-in with Randy. Uncle Randy.
Uncle Randy.
He will forever be known
Uncle
now.
Randy.
That's what my kids call him anyway.
Uncle Randy.
Uncle Randy.
For president. Let's be clear now. What we're after is him being the president.
Right. Listen, you know, it's just so much fun talking to him. Can you imagine? That's on camera, but can you imagine what it's like when we all get together in Dallas? Because I got some other family members that I'm not ready to put them on.
I got you.
In front of the people.
Well, we ready for it.
You got to take this family one at a time. But I hope that you all enjoyed him as much as I did. And we're just going to talk a little bit about some things that, you know, that he talked about.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to check in with him because that was my first time having him on the show. And I know that that was a lot to take in.
Yeah.
For people who know me but didn't know him. And I just wanted to check back in and see how that thing was feeling. Now he looked,
and from my understanding, now what he said was the viewers bought his books.
Absolutely.
Did he tell you how many books? Who bought a book? Tell us who. And it's okay, no judgment. Let me say, we're not judging. Who patronized him and what books did you get? Have you gotten them yet? Freddie, producer, saying that we want to do a book swap or something.
Oh my Lord.
I have
Drop the links for tickets. Drop the links for tickets. Oh, Sister Irma said, Merry Christmas, Randy.
So listen.
My. Okay.
So listen, you know, he talked about, I think he talked about, you know, we have private conversations and public conversations. So I can't remember, someone asked him, was he shamed? I think somebody, you know, reached out to him personally and asked him, was he shamed? And he was like, there's no shame.
Yeah.
He said there was nothing in his closet but his clothes and his shoes.
I got you.
Because he lives with his skeleton.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Out of the closet.
Out of the closet.
Okay.
And so I was thinking about that because he said, you know, he wrote this kind of as a legacy, and I'm gonna go back to how all of this really started.
Yeah.
Don't let me forget that.
Because you changed his life.
I'm thankful that God used me at a moment.
Are you? You sound like you have a little difficulty.
But he said he wanted his children to know about him. So my question to you is, are you comfortable with your grown children? I'm not talking about your young children. Are you comfortable with your grown children knowing about you, your past, things you did? Tell us in the feed whether or not you're comfortable with that.
And you know, and we had talked about this before my father passed. We began to just really form a very close relationship, and he missed some things, and he wished he had been there for certain times. So we built a relationship, and as we talked, what we realized is that the greatest contribution he could give me was telling me about his life. Some of the wrong turns that he made, some of the regrets that he had in life. Really giving me some perspective on just kind of how he got to where he was in life. And so it was really wonderful having that.
So you felt it was enriching for you to know.
Absolutely.
Because it opened you up to really know who this person was.
Absolutely. And it helped me know me. Because there's some things in my dad that are just in me. So there are times when I'm at critical places in my life and I say, wait a minute, this is where my daddy was and this is the decision he made. Let me be intentional about going a different direction, or let me be intentional about going the direction that he did, because there are some things that he did well.
Deshara said she was comfortable with knowing, with her children knowing. Renee Carpenter, hey Renee, said she was absolutely comfortable with her sons knowing her life. Now, I'm not talking about your nice life. I'm talking about the things that you did, you know, back in the day. But I'm comfortable too. And what I've recognized is I've told my children in increments. The older they have become, the more I expose, the more I share. Because I didn't want, like when they were like 19 and 20, I didn't want to necessarily tell them everything, because there needed to be a maturity level with them to handle some things, and I didn't want them to think that, well, since Mama did it, they would give them permission to do it too. But the older they get, the more I share. But yeah, I talk.
So as a parent, do you see you in your kids?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Now I want to know one of those. What do you see? I know that's a lot to ask.
You know, and it's interesting that you do see, and you got to be honest with yourself, because sometimes we criticize our children, our adult children, and they're really acting like us. They got those personality traits. The difference sometimes is they got it in a new culture, and really what we are is afraid for them, because they have it in a new culture. But yeah,
what does that mean? Having it in a new culture?
Well, okay, so when I was partying, because Bishop was not the partying guy, I was the party girl. Okay. And when I was partying, things were a little safer. Like I only had one time where I was somewhere, child, I was in the Players Club, for those of you who live in Dallas, and they started shooting. But that wasn't a norm. Got it. Right? So going out, staying out to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it wasn't as unsafe as it is now. And it maybe was, but no. AK-47s wasn't in everybody's hands. Got it. Right? So yeah. So I think we are concerned because it's a different culture and things are not as safe. But I share with my kids. Y'all gotta tell me.
Yeah, they're saying that Valencia says she appreciates her parents sharing. When her mom shares, it makes her me feel more open with her. Jackie Gaston said now her children tell all her business. But she's cool with it.
It's interesting though. I think it was telling my mom
your business, your things.
There was some things. Now my mother and I had a very close relationship, so some things she knew. Yeah. This was my mother's philosophy. Her saying to me, she said, "Whatever you're gonna do wrong, do it by yourself. That way you don't have to worry about it. If it gets out, it's because you told me." I got it. Right. Gotcha. And so I kind of lived by that philosophy. So consequently, a lot of wrong things I did, I didn't do with a group of people. You know, it was just me and my best girl got into our bad stuff. So then,
do we need to bring her on the show?
No. Some things I am gonna take to the grave.
You gonna leave under the blood?
Yeah. But it was telling her some things, and I remember. And Randy didn't talk about it, I don't think, in this episode, in this chat, but we had talked before, talking about he went to my mom, and when he wrote the first book, because my mother was still living, and she read a few pages. She didn't read the whole book. And she was like, "Look, this is your story." Okay, bye. But I think that was some of the thing. But by the time I told my mom, my life had changed. So there was some stuff we could laugh about, you know. But we all come from somewhere. We've all done things. And Randy spoke on, not being shamed. So my question to you is, because y'all know we just live, we're just hanging out tonight. My question to you is, are there things that you still struggle with being ashamed of? All right. There is a difference between feeling guilty and feeling shame. So guilt, this is an empowering moment. This is an empowerment moment. Guilt is an evaluation or an assessment about your behavior. And you come to the conclusion that behavior was a bad behavior, wrong behavior. Shame is an assessment of yourself. All right. And so then your assessment of yourself is that not just that my behavior was bad, but who I am is bad. And that's very different. Got it. And so shame can be a very toxic emotion because, we can't separate the behavior from ourselves, the action from the individual. So y'all tell me, are there some things that you struggle with? James Booker says, not anymore. It's what I was when I was younger. Absolutely. William Weeks said, when my dad was alive, I did get the chance to talk to him about things that he related to. Deborah said grave friends. Yeah, you got some grave friends, stuff you take to the grave. But yeah, this was free. So let me go back to how this all came about. As he said, he was in a depressed state. And I said, here I am, the therapist.
Of the family. Of everywhere.
Now, y'all know, sometimes that's a double-edged sword because my family likes me being the therapist when they need me. But when I just look at some of that stuff and diagnose it,
Yeah.
then they tell me to get out of their business.
Gotcha.
All right, so I just want y'all to know.
Mhm.
But anyway, so
I want to ask, how does that feel? But
it's therapized.
yeah,
So I told him, I said, Randy, you need to journal, get some of this
Mhm.
out of you. Because he was struggling with reconciling some stuff about my dad growing up, and even my mom, and even the rest of us, and all of that. And so I said, you need to write this stuff down to get it out of your heart, to get it off your mind. Write it down. And I still say that's a very good
practice.
Very good therapeutic tool is journaling. And so he began to journal. I never knew, y'all, that he was going to publish this stuff.
Listen, and when I tell you publishing, he is what, 31 books in.
And he started, okay, now we use an old word.
Okay.
This may be older
Let's
than
see
you.
it. Let's see
He
it.
started upchucking.
Okay.
He started upchucking.
Upchucking. Upchuck.
He started upchucking all this old stuff. And then it became from his real toxic feelings to just all his experiences. So there we went. Some of those first books are about things he experienced and how they affected him. My dad being an alcoholic and all of that. Then it started being his escapades.
Okay.
And that's how we got over into nasty. I never intended
for the nasty
stuff to be written down, less known being published. But we went over into nasty, and that's what I call his book. I said, your nasty books. Because it's some raunchy stuff in there.
And we appreciate them. Now, this new book he's about to release is Why Good Girls Like Bad.
Why Good Women Like No Good Men.
Like no good, not bad. No good.
No good.
No good. Now, maybe I should not go here, and you tell me. Tell me.
You shouldn't go there.
Okay.
They said, no, we on this conversation. We live tonight.
So you had folks to reach out to you about your
you know,
book.
how did you get here? You know, hey, the ladies were interested.
And is it because of his honesty? What was it? What is it?
What makes Randy attractive?
Yes, that's a great
question.
question. Because I put that in there. What makes Randy attractive?
Yeah,
that's right.
Because he is big telling his truth. Now let me say, he's also saying that he's changed all of that in his 40s. Well, now he still got a little company coming. They in by 9, out by 5.
Okay.
Now let's be
now
honest.
you're telling his business now.
No,
he said that on the show.
Week.
He said that on the
last
show.
week.
So is it that people just want to be his company?
I think.
Or do people
You know
view
what?
him as, let me lock him down? Although he's saying he ain't ready to be locked down.
Okay, so women like a challenge.
Okay.
I do.
And men do too.
And men do too.
Men do too.
Men do too. I think for men want to conquer the good woman.
Okay.
And want to conquer her because she's usually strong,
Mm-hmm.
you know, standoffish, you know, don't come to me with all of that. And then he wants to conquer her.
And what
women want to conquer that beast.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to conquer that beast
So
to tame him.
How does that work? How do you think that works? Over your assessment, over your lifespan.
Well, okay, wait a minute. I gotta tell y'all what Victoria said. His transparency, his sense of humor, honesty. He's easy on the eyes. I got you, Victoria. And you know what? I think women like men who are transparent and who are fun and not uptight. You know, I do. I think that is a quality that women like. Are y'all telling me what makes Randy attractive? They're saying
Randy is actually on here, y'all. Randy is watching.
Hey,
Uncle Randy is watching. He is watching.
William Week said, "Good girls like bad guys," as the prophet DMX used to say. and Shauna said something. Look, Shauna said. We also want the spice of life. It helps to balance us in the season of our lives. Yeah, I think a little spice helps. I think, you know, little spice.
When I come out spicy in 2022.
Okay, y'all heard it right here.
When I come out with some spice. Okay. Don't nobody say nothing to me.
What kind of spice?
I don't know. I'm gonna
I'm
figure it out for the last 2 weeks this month. And then I'm gonna come back. You hear her throwing shade? Girl, let me tell you something.
Look.
Let me tell you something.
So yeah, you know, and listen. Speaking of spice,
I think I need to get Freddie in check. She talking about some
Freddie, you owe
this ain't
$1
what you want.
to the petty people jar. Yeah, we got a petty people jar. That when you petty, you gotta pay to the jar. Randy admitted that this was G-rated for him.
And that's what the people got to know.
I promise you.
What the people got to know is that the family has said this week, Randy did well.
He did well. Everybody was proud of him because really he promised me. That was the agreement we made of him coming on my show.
Lisa Claiborne said I need to be around him a little more to know if I like him. All right.
The agreement we made was that he was going to keep it G-rated. He said he wouldn't use any profanity, you know, and we would keep it on the surface.
So here's what I'm trying to plan his show on
that this was G-rated, but I want y'all to know now there's a whole nother level. Now I can't, but okay, so here's the challenge, y'all. I don't know about that. They want me to bring him on the show. I don't know on the live show. But listen. Listen.
And then we can ask him to be raw in the pre-check.
But
we can ask him to be raw in the pre-check for the VIP.
So you gotta talk to me on this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because you're usually the keeper. You're usually the Christian keeper of the show.
I gave that up last week.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I trust you. I trust the God in you. I gave that up. You are the real me. I gave that up. You call it petty, but I'm serious.
We did a petty.
I'm serious. You ain't got to worry about me keeping no sound.
Cortney is always trying to keep us on track with, because Freddie likes a little ratchet, Shauna likes a little rah-rah. Freddie is downright ratchet, and Cortney keeps us on track with a Christian perspective. So they say he's sexy. All right.
And he fun and he telling his story. And
but y'all, I can't bring him on and let him be above a PG.
What we gonna do?
The show.
Here's what we're gonna do.
You know, because then, I mean, how do I do that?
Here's what we're gonna do.
What?
We're gonna do a live show. We're gonna bring him in.
All right.
The VIP experience. It's gonna be Uncle Randy.
Oh no!
Uncle Randy can just be himself in that show. Now the ticket's gonna be $100 instead of $50 now. Because if we gonna go that far away, we're gonna have to get some money for that. Now if we
said she'll pick him up from the airport.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna have to fight all the other women that's in her tickets.
I don't know how I have a show with that kind. I can't do that. Now I just can't. We have to. It cannot go above PG. Right, because
Can we do PG-13?
Y'all don't know.
Can we do PG-13?
PG-13? Oh, not for the now.
We grown. No kids allowed.
Listen,
25.
For $100.
I don't know.
75, Cortney.
100. But listen,
With a picture? Well, Uncle Randy.
y'all wait a minute. Y'all get back to the viewers.
The viewers also would like an Ask Uncle Randy segment.
Who said that?
William
Who's?
Weeks. So now in real life, I may need to ask Uncle Randy to help me get married.
I don't think marriage is all
He's
his
married.
But I need some of the women like all this spice. He ain't mad because he don't want to be. He can give me some of what he got and then I have no idea. I have no idea. Paprika, I don't know. Pepper.
They think the Cortney spice.
Yeah.
But
So I'm gonna come out with it.
so y'all, how do I have a show? I don't know how to do that. I don't know. Okay, so let me digress because I can't do all the Randy. I can barely take him.
Renee Carter said, "Don't do it. Why? Because you gonna go to Dallas and get them yourself." I'm joking. I can joke at you, Pastor Renee. Just know that. Don't bring them to the
They
den.
host a book signing.
No.
Okay.
Now, and he and I have an understanding. I can't.
He said your love has limits.
I cannot. He knows that.
But he said,
Even though in all of those nasty books, he is always giving special recognition to me and Bishop.
because what you gotta know is he is a member of New Life Everywhere.
Absolutely.
Now,
But he's a lot of fun.
that's right. And so what you have said to me, which is really why I'm pulling back on the keeper, is because you really want to expose people to people's stories. So being exposed to Randy's story is what we need, because there are other people who have truths.
And
Truths that we
this
need
will
to
give us
hear.
a good opportunity to talk about conversations.
Absolutely.
You all, I started conversations with Linda because I do have these amazing conversations, and I've had them really all my life. Because remember when he talked about I would become friends with them women
Absolutely.
that were calling, that was because they were talking to me.
Uh-huh.
People have just always liked to talk to me in airports and everything, and they tell me their whole life story.
Yeah.
So conversations gives me an opportunity to do that. And I'm not trying to keep conversations to just a churchy status. And when I say churchy, I don't mean I want it to be clean, right? And something that I can hold my head up. But I'm not trying to make it churchy.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Because church folk don't always be real.
That's right.
Church folk don't always tell the truth.
The truth. That's right.
Right? But I am having conversations with people and just talking about where they are. And so you're going to see and hear some conversations even in 2022 that are not necessarily churchy.
Which is great.
Yeah,
you
it's just true.
You do a wonderful job just in one-on-one conversations, helping people process their stuff.
Absolutely. And that's why one of the reasons I think people do come to me is because there's no judgment with me. You know, people, we are all having an experience, and it's called the human experience.
Which is what Teresa Houston is saying. If we all write a book, it would look like his.
Oh, girl, you have said some truth.
It would look
right
like
there.
Randy's.
You really have said some truth right there. But
and has he achieved something that church people don't achieve often? Coming out of the shame of our lives?
Yeah, because I know some of that was telling for the family. And so well, you know, I remember when he was writing these books and he would just send them to the family. And we were all calling each other, saying, girl, did you read what Randy said? You know, so we were all having that experience like, oh my God. And we didn't know where we were going to land with it either as a family, like all of this out here being published, right? And then we just got okay with it because it's his life, right? You know, and it's his story.
My family, I shared some things years ago, and my grandma was like, boy, don't do that. You know, because in black families,
right?
You sweep it under the rug.
You don't air your dirty laundry. You keep that to yourself, which becomes the bedrock or the foundation for a lot of secrets in this.
It can become bondage. You got something that you're trying to get off your lip.
I am.
Okay, I think it's wearing the beards. Okay, I can't wait till we get back to not wearing beards. But that's another show. That's another show.
That's not a show.
But
no, we can do a conversation with some ladies on beards or no beards.
Yeah.
We can bring on good beards or bad beards. That's part of rah-rah. It has helped get a lot of attention though.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So
I ain't landing on that.
But yeah, I think families keep us in a lot of bondage because they do not want us to expose our truth because they feel it's a reflection of them, right?
And it may be.
It may be. But I mean, if it's your story, if it's the truth, I think you need to be the person to decide. Now, am I saying everybody needs to come out and start putting their truth on social media and all that? No, I'm not
social
saying
media
that.
is just not the place
For everything.
for
everybody.
I told somebody this week. I said, stop processing on social media.
Stop processing, right?
Because what I realized is that people confuse revelation, and processing. Just because you're in the middle and you have an enlightening moment, that doesn't mean that's revelatory. It's just you better break through in your own life.
And so let me say this. I think in my 54 years of living, that there's some things that you should process to the end before you share them. Because you're on this journey and some things you haven't fully processed. And so that's why you see people come out and say things and then they got to apologize or regret. They regress and they back into it. And so I think you need to kind of get to the end of processing a thing and then maybe share it because then you regret sharing it because now, you know, you're never. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So conversations is just that, conversations with people, enlightening conversation, sharing. And so we're going to cover the gamut of things. And we have. I mean, we've had Terry that was on. She shared, you know, things that happened to her. She was growing up We've had a lot of interesting conversations. I've shared some
Parenting
things.
adult children.
And so I don't want you to be disturbed because I'm not after a Sunday morning church experience on conversations. I'm really after having a quality conversation. Some of it's going to be eye-opening. Some of it is going to be comedic. Some of it is going to, take you to a place and bring you back. But it's all edutainment. That's the word you gave us. And what is edutainment? Educational and entertainment.
That's right.
Right? And that's surely what Randy's was.
Absolutely.
All right. So
will Randy ever be married? He said on the show last week, he said he asked the Lord for 3 things. He asked him for a house.
He ain't ready.
Was it a good job?
A house. What else did he say, y'all?
A good job and to be married. And the Lord gave him a good job.
No, a house, and he wanted his life given to the Lord.
Okay.
And he said he's still a work in progress. And
isn't that a great desire?
Work in
That
progress.
is a blessing. You're not talking about no work in progress.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
And then to be married, I don't think he's gonna get married. There comes a time in your life where you get settled.
Kelly, what do you think? Kelly's on here. Do you think Uncle Randy's gonna get married, Kelly?
And all his stuff is in my name. And so that's a deal breaker right there. You get it? All his stuff is in my, he don't have a wife, so his things are in my name. So no.
So you ain't gonna let nobody say you're not letting that place go. It's the sisters that's the problem. You see that?
I'll be blocking that every
It's the sisters that's the problem.
But do you all think there comes a time, if you've never been married or even you've been divorced a long time, is there a threshold you cross and it's hard then to be married?
I believe because my friends and I are actually talking about that now.
Okay.
And not just guys, but ladies as well.
Uh-huh.
When you become comfortable with yourself, your own routines and your own patterns.
Absolutely.
And we are looking at other people's lives who are inconvenienced by another person being there or children or whatever. And so you start to think.
It almost feels like a disruption.
Absolutely.
To who you are and how you function and all that. So what do you all think? For those of you who are not married or you've been married and no longer married for a considerable amount of time, do you think the older you get, it's easier or harder to get married and invite somebody into your space? Because I think that's why he has the in by 9, out by 5 rule.
Yeah.
Because what he's saying is nighttime
is his time.
It's his time.
That's
so
right.
He wants to go to bed, because he's older now.
What I'm holding on to now, because I've gone to lunches with folks who saying don't get married. Like who saying don't get married.
Is that what the people
But that's what the people are out here saying.
Are they married telling you not to get married? What?
Yes.
Y'all now I am
really asking, so why you want to get married again? And I go down my list. I want to family and all this kind of stuff.
Pro-marriage. Are y'all not here telling people don't get married?
And that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is,
Teresa Houston says, yes, I've been divorced 22 years. I don't think I can tolerate
the snoring.
I love it, Teresa.
It will be super difficult at this point. What I'm holding on to is the fact that God created it. So
Okay.
it's good because God said so.
Right.
Because it ain't a whole lot of people saying it's good.
Are y'all thinking now marriage is not good?
God said humans were good too. Humans. He said in this very.
He said human beings.
He said humans were good.
And we haven't lived up to what he said.
But God is not a man. He should lie.
But I mean, after you've been single, divorced for 20
that's what
years.
Renee is saying. Yes, it's married people who are discouraging us from getting married.
What is going on out here?
Yeah.
Don't y'all listen to these married folk? Now, I know that it's not that marriage doesn't have its challenges, but I told y'all it's not the institution of marriage that's the problem. It's the people who are in these marriages who have married either the wrong person or they are the wrong person.
Yeah. And Shauna's saying y'all are not making marriage look attractive.
But we listen.
I think
on the bandwagon for me. I'm telling you now, I got this passion in me because we got to do better than this. Listen, we got to do better than this.
Somebody said their husband died 14 years ago. I'm good. That's what she said.
Hey, it's at least. Who said that?
Shirley.
Shirley doubted. At least she knows where she is.
Mona Jones says she loves being married.
I love being married.
Shauna saying y'all complaining, side-eyeing your spouse, not working together, separate accounts, and married, acting single.
Yeah, but but is it that there's hollering the loudest? Is it that the people who are unhappy are talking the loudest because there are not enough of me and Vanna and
I think
like us
what I do
who are
believe,
saying,
I think we got to do a better job as the body of Christ at highlighting better marriages. And I know we're apprehensive about that
because folks saying,
marriages can turn in a moment.
Yeah.
What your mom say?
Now my mama said, two groups of people you don't ever brag on, and that's your husband and your children because they will shame you. But I think
divorced for 25 years. I'm so comfortable being single. I have to get
who said
Jesus.
that?
I have to hold on. I'm so comfortable being single. I have got to see Jesus for me to get married.
That's Pat Robinson said that. But
help us. These married people look sad. Pastor Sherry Brooks said, I love being married.
Yeah.
Deshara said, I love being married. Victoria Brown says, I miss being married. Enjoy being single, but don't want to leave this earth single. I am not ashamed to say I've had 3 husbands. The struggle is real.
Okay, the struggle is real. Listen.
What was wrong with them?
Victoria, we got to have you on the show to talk about that.
Marriage is beautiful. I'm sorry. Marriage is a beautiful institution, but many married people are miserable. I do support and believe in marriage. The happy people are posting Facebook posts about their wonderful lives just before divorce.
Yeah, well, yeah, now that is true. Now, I'm whoever said that, you are right. But because they're perpetrating, because we love that social media image, right? We love a good.
Now, Miss Irma, been there, done that, done. No, you ain't. You know you're not done. Don't put that word out there like that. Pull that back out.
But listen, now I don't know if, as I said, unhappy married people are talking the loudest, and we're not saying enough for those of us who are happy, and those people who are so miserable. Again, did you marry the wrong person? Are you not willing to do what it takes to make marriage work? Because marriage will work if you work it, right? So now,
that's a Lindaism.
That's a Lindaism. Is there something about you? Maybe it's nothing about marriage. Maybe it's just you.
Yeah.
You know, and because sometimes we want our cake and eat it too. Sometimes people, here's what I believe. I believe that selfishness, and I've said this over and over, and I'm going to keep saying it, selfishness is the destroyer of marriage, right? So if you're a selfish person, you are not the person to get married. If you're dating a selfish person, which if you date them, you are probably going to see the qualities. That's not the person you marry.
So is selfishness something that can change? Because what you just said is if you are a selfish person, you're not the person to get married. Can a selfish person say, I recognize I'm selfish, I want to be married, I'm going to work on this and change this?
Absolutely. Now, as a therapist, I believe behavior can change.
Okay.
Personality doesn't necessarily change, but behavior can change because I can train myself to function a different way. But here's what it requires. Here's what it requires, y'all. It requires intentionality. So I'm not a huggy, affectionate person by nature. So I have to be intentional about being affectionate because it's not going to come at me naturally, right? So there are things that I practice, I rehearse, I say to myself, okay, wait a minute, I haven't given my honey a hug today. So we can do what we need to do with intentionality. You may not be a talkative person.
I'm not.
Wait a minute, that's not right. You may not be a communicator per se. And I've had people in my office who say, you know, I just don't like to talk. Well, you shouldn't have gotten married if you just refuse to communicate when communication is necessary for a good marriage. Right? And so if you're not willing
to work on it,
at it, whatever it is, no, it's not. Marriage is not going to be successful,
and it's going to be uncomfortable. It is going to be miserable because that is what I see. What I tell guys a lot of times, and I don't know, you know, and I know I'm not married or anything. You know, marriage is, love Christ is Christ loved the church, all that kind of stuff. His loving the church was he put both hands on the cross at the same time. I see guys put one hand on the cross
I love that analogy.
and holding one down.
I love that analogy.
But we're withholding. And I know that it's uncomfortable to give a little bit and you're waiting on your spouse to reciprocate.
Absolutely.
And you're withholding.
Yeah.
But you'll never know what you're gonna get if you don't ever give all.
Both hands.
Because you're apprehensive.
And can we look at that? I love that illustration. What is it? An illustration, metaphor, whatever. Because some people put one hand on marriage and keep the other hand on being single. And so they want all the benefits of marriage, but they also want what they had in their single life. They want to be free to do whatever they want to do, come home whenever they want to come home, keep all their old
phone numbers, and all that kind of stuff.
Keep texting folk that they know that, from their single life. And they're trying to keep both. And that's what makes them unhappy because they resent. Y'all hear me? They resent having to give up that single life.
Wow.
Right? And so they get mad at their spouse because now I can't do what I want to do in marriage. I feel in prison. Well, marriage requires that you join with that other person. So it's a letting go of your single life.
And what you said on the show with the guys, the musicians, somebody asked you about this two become one. You said that becoming one is a process
a
of
lifetime.
Becoming.
Absolutely,
And,
lifetime.
and that you got to work on.
Every place where I still see myself thinking or acting single, because I'm not necessarily always just talking about wanting somebody else other than your mate, but every place where I see myself only interested in self, and that's a place where I need to become more one. That's a place where I need to work on. And that's what we have to be conscious of. I'm being selfish about this.
And I forget the author, but when we talked about these levels of intimacy, there was a psychologist who talked about intimacy is you being able to give all without fear of losing anything.
That's good because the Bible says perfect love casts out all fear. And so again, when I hold back, that's being selfish. I'm holding back something just for myself. I'm holding back my communication. I'm holding back my finances or whatever. I'm holding back my affection. And so that's the things we got to work on. But I'm telling you, I am passionate about marriage.
And let me shout out, I don't know if they're watching, I have a group of guys that I am, actually our group message, these are my friends from college, our group text thread is called Wholeness. Because we talk about just everything. We talk about they're raising their children, they're married, we get advice from one another, professional advice, and it's Joe, Greg, and Marlon.
Shout out to Joe, Greg, and Marlon.
I want to shout them out because they are truly great examples for me of what it looks like to be married and happily married. My friends, so I'm not lacking good examples.
Let me throw this out there. Janine Washington Smith said that she's been married 28 years and a lot of people are looking for perfect husbands and they've never found perfection. You are not going to find perfection. Thank you so much, Janine, for saying that.
You know, one of my ex-girlfriends told me.
What?
She said, you looking for perfection. She said,
I think so too.
She said perfection came 2,000 years ago.
Ooh,
she said, so if you're looking for that, it ain't here.
It's not here, but you can look for progress or a person who is progressing in life. I agree with that. Well, we're going to
process this. Come on, you think so? I think Prophetess and Pastor Linda are looking for perfect for me too.
Listen, we just wanted to hang out with you tonight, just have a conversation with you because you all always tune in and hear my conversations with other people, which you want.
Uncle Randy said, I have a book called
What?
In Love and Unhappy.
Randy's got
talks about this.
Randy's got a book for everything.
Yes, he does. Title and everything. I'm sorry, we got just 34 seconds.
But listen, we just wanted to hang out and have a conversation with you because you're what makes us come back every week. That we love the fact that we have this intimate time with you. So the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to be doing this. Next week, we're going to check in with Travis.
That's right.
To see how that dating.
So call all South Memphis aunties and tell them to watch. Oh no, he's not.
Tell them to stay away. Right. Tell them to stay away from Travis. Tell our South Memphis aunties.
They want an after show.
That we gonna,
Not tonight. I got homework.
listen, we're gonna come back next week. We're gonna do the same thing. We want you to tune in. If there's something you want to talk about, hit me up, LindaWillisOmpowers.org, and tell me what you want to talk about next week. But we are gonna check in with Travis.
That's right.
And also, is it this week or next week? I'm gonna have something on Friday night, the cooking show. We're gonna
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. I'm gonna come to you and show you. I got Ebony Price and Tavy Anthony are gonna show you how to cook a few dishes.
A good meal.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Good
When
dessert.
I tell you, Tavy cooked to make the delicious
Ooh-wee.
vegan cake.
My God, today.
Delicious vegan cake. It was awesome.
That's good for your journey of losing weight. Praise
I'm
God.
getting there, but I'm starting up here in my head. In my mind, I'm losing weight in my mind first, and then I believe that it's going to trickle down to my body.
Again, this
As
is
a
the,
man thinking
this is
in this,
this
come
is
on,
the,
as a man thinking.
this is the newest development in her journey to lose weight. She gonna lose weight in her mind first. I'm not out of.
All right, y'all. I'm out of time, but I'm never out of conversation. Tune in every Sunday evening. We start our pre-chat at 6:30 to
We gotta
7.
fix this.
What?
I'm so sorry.
What?
The live show is for men and women. I just couldn't let
absolutely.
that. We couldn't let that go.
Oh,
The
okay.
live show is for men and women. In fact, William, we have a raffle going on from now until Friday for date nights. If you're bringing your spouse,
Yeah.
we're going to pay for a meal for those who purchase date tickets.
So
Okay? I'm sorry.
January 15th is our live show. Make sure that you purchase your tickets. We just might have Uncle Randy there at our live show. Who knows?
Mhm.
All right, you all have a good week, and we'll see you next Sunday.